Hello guys, this is Dr. Pop and I am back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is newest, so far unseen, unkillable team that is free to play and can do 35 million damage a key. Now before I start, let me tell you that Badel is absolutely not a requirement for this team. I used him only because I didn't have other healer ready at the moment. I am right now building Reliquary Tender and Arcanist rare champions to replace Badel, because he's not really that important for this team. He's actually casting poisons, and I do have too much poisons, so that sometimes I cannot land decreased defense from the Grave Chill Killer. I want to thank Nixer, the guy that I'm chatting with about the game, for the initial idea of having one really slow champion that can go 2 times for the three turns of the boss, and that way he can keep unkillable and block debuff buff at all the time. So we together created this team, and speeds are really sensitive. I'm gonna show them later on when this video ends, but there is a different variation to this team where Bulwark is going once in first AoE turn and once in second AoE turn and then skipping a stun turn. In this variation he is going in a stun turn and first AoE turn and skipping the second AoE turn. So I needed him to go on stun turn because I only had a Badel as a healer and he is a casting continuous heal. So someone needs to take a turn in order to get healed. And why I need to get someone healed, I explained in my previous video about the clan boss stun order. So if you want to know something about clan boss stun order, go and check out that video. I only didn't cover one part of it in the video, but I wrote in the comments below the part that was missing from the video. In order to make a Bulwark a tank, that means that you want Bulwark to attract the boss to stun him, he needs to be the lowest on HP but above 15% health. This is why we have a healer there, Badel, or any other that can heal 15 or more percent. And the trick is for the affinity boss, if you have, for example, imagine that this was a green boss, he would want to attack the blue target. So if you want to avoid that, these blue champions that we have on the team needs to be another 15% of HP above the Bulwark. So Bulwark needs to be the lowest with at least 50% HP in order to get stunned. If he's below 15% HP, boss gonna ignore him. So he needs to be above 15%. And the blue target, if it was a green boss, needs to be another 15% higher from Bulwark in order to avoid the stun. Other neutral affinities are fine, they just need to be above Bulwark, even 1%. And that's it. So this is how you make the boss stun the target. The beauty of this composition is that you do not have to set it up at all. Yes, you heard me well. You just hit auto button right from the start and it works perfectly until turn 50. You are not coming into the stable rotation right at the beginning, but it doesn't matter. After turn 5 or 6, it is just going to start to repeat itself. So you're gonna have your team covered with Man-Eater's block debuff buff and unkillable for the first 2 turns, and only Bulwark gonna be covered in a stun turn, and he's going to get targeted by the boss. So this is how it works. Now this team can work on any affinity. Just on Void affinity it will do maybe less damage because Bulwark will not extend debuffs that much like he's doing it on affinity fight. but you don't have to use Bulwark at all. You can use any champion. He just needs to be very, very slow. You can use any champion. I just thought Bulwark is the best candidate for that because he is as a slow target that's gonna play only 2 times per 3 bosses turns. He gonna do the most damage, I believe. I don't know if there is any better option to that. So none of these champions are required here. Only Man-Eater is required. Even a healer, even Badel or any other healer is not required, but then you're gonna have to find a way to heal your champions above Bulwark level and heal the Bulwark for 15%. You can probably do it with a lifesteal gear, but I cannot make 307 speed Man-Eater in a lifesteal gear. I don't have that great gear, so I decided to run this comp with a healer. But it is easier with a healer. So if you're using a healer that is casting continuous heal buff, you're gonna need to have Bulwark going in a stun turn in order to take that heal. If you're using a healer that is directly healing by some amount, like Warlord or Steel Skull, or I don't know, anyone that is healing everyone directly, you can have a Bulwark going in a second turn. He doesn't need to go in a stun turn. Okay, so since this composition doesn't need any setting up, you just hit auto. I don't need to bother you about it anymore, so I'm gonna jump to the end of the fight and see the results, and then I'm gonna talk to you about those speeds of these champions and those replacements that you could use for Badel Khazar. So here it is, 36.46 million damage, and to be honest, my champions are not even really good equipped. I'm gonna show you their equipment in a second. So let's start with Badel Khazar, that can be replaced with other champions. His speed is 171. Actually, his speed is 171.24 because he have a speed set on. He doesn't have any masteries that influence a turn meter or manipulate turn meter. He have some counter-attack masteries. Let's move on to the next guy. It's gonna be Man-Eater. Man-Eater needs to be at 306.52. It says that he's at 307, but he's actually at 306.52. He also is in defense offense masteries. Next guy is Bulwark. He does have a lot of steel because I had different gear on him before. His speed is 122. I had a different gear before. This is why I use support 3 for him. Now Givenchy, Great Chill Killer, I call her Givenchy. She is at 181 speed. .225 accuracy. And Frozen Banshee is at 205, actually 204.54 speed, because she have a lot of steel and some speed set on. Now let's show you some guys that can replace Badel in his role. Black Knight, he's placing continuous heal buff and increased defense buff on all allies full 2 turns. That increased defense can actually increase some damage from Bulwark. In this faction, I don't remember that there are more healers, but in High Elves, yeah, Reliquary Tender is there. and Tendrasil. Reliquary Tender is what is she's doing? She's removing all the debuffs and casting also continuous heal, but I don't like her because she's casting a decrease attack on her A1. So I'm gonna test her because she's void. Here we have this guy Tenasil. Again, he's placing increased defense buff and heals all allies by 25% of this champion max HP. You just need to have him be at the max HP of all your team to be sure that he's healing everyone by 25%. In this faction I don't see anyone else that can be useful as a healer. In Secret Order, who do we have here? It was, no, this is Chaplain. I believe it was Adriel champion, but Adriel is epic, right? Yeah. So heals all allies by 20% of their max HP, which is also very good. You don't have to have a Bulwark going in a stun turn. You can have him with different speeds. I'm not gonna post that speeds here. I'm gonna make another video for that other setup. These guys, they don't have a healer, if I'm correct. These guys as well don't have a healer. Lizardmen, I believe they also don't have a healer. But you have here, yeah, you have a flesh tier. This guy is amazing. He is healing everyone by 30% and increasing the duration of all ally buffs. It can be used pretty good if you can make this rotation to allow one guy go 4 times on a 3 boss turns. Also, same goes for Steel Skull because he's a 4-turn healer. I'm trying to make a composition now that is going to allow one guy to go 4 times and use him as a healer there, and to work the same way like it works now. Orcs, we have actually Warlord there, but he's legendary champion. He can also be used as a healer. Here, I forgot. Yeah, I believe we have, what was the name of that girl that is cleansing and healing? Doom Priest, yeah. Doom Priest could be as a healer, but she also needs to go 2 times because she's healing only by 7.5%. This girl, Captain Amelia, can also be used as a healer instead of Badel. Painkeeper actually cannot be used because she is reducing cooldown and she would destroy this rotation, but there are several guys that I don't know how they work. Mystic Hand can actually be used as a healer. Also here, was it Mage? No, he's not healing properly. Was it Arcanist? Yeah, Arcanist is the one that I want to try out. Dwarves doesn't have a healer, but Knight Revenant, yeah, Doom Priest is there. I don't have her, but Arcanist can be used. She's also having increased attack and increased crit rate buff that can work well on this team. So I think I'm gonna build her up. This guy, I don't know how he heals. He heals the champion by 30% of max HP and places increase. No, not that one, but exchanges remaining HP level with a target enemy, then equalizes the HP of all allies. I don't know, will it work on a clan boss? Will it copy the clan boss health? I'm not sure. So if someone knows that, please let me know. There is another unorthodox healer called, yeah, Mystic Hand. He's a different healer, but he can actually heal your team. Heals the ally with the lowest HP by 25%, then equalize the HP levels of all the allies. So yeah, he can keep your team above 15%. That's what's important for the boss to stun the particular target that you want. I think I'm giving you different content than anyone else out there, so please subscribe and see ya.